Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcasts. We're here. Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you've had a good one. We're on our way into the new year now. Plenty of games still coming up, though. Obviously, Burnley tomorrow night. Looking forward to that one?
No.
Go to Burnley?
Absolutely not.
Little trip to Turf Moor?
Yeah, it's Ben's birthday, so I got away with that one.
I got to excuse that one then.
Nah, dodge that one in a heartbeat. Even if it wasn't, I'd probably think of something. Especially this time of year.
Anything over Burnley.
In the summer, maybe. In the winter, no chance. Not a hope in hell's chance. Also, any away game, really.
I know. Not really.
Yeah.
Don't really want to go there.
Not really interested in going anywhere away. Even Sunderland, just doing the road.
Oh, definitely.
Middlesbrough in the Premier League. Leeds. We went to Leeds, to be fair. That was shite.
That was terrible.
Nope, not again.
Nope, not again. Only trips I'm interested in is the Champions League ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who knows how many of them left there will be.
We savour them ones.
We savour them ones. Jumping to a new member here. Peter has joined. Thanks very much for joining. Remember, we do giveaways each month on the Magpie Channel. Did the hats for Christmas. Stay tuned to what we've got coming in the new year. And drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's dive into that Man United game then, Keg. Let's review that one before we talk loads about Eddie Howe and transfer links and rumours, as you can see in the title there. Trippier and Joelinton, two pivotal figures for the two and across the last few seasons, are linked heavily with moves away in the upcoming January transfer window, and I looked ahead to that Burnley game as well. But Man U then, Boxing Day ruined. You know what I mean? Couldn't even beat a depleted, terrible Man United side. You know, all the Man U fans are buzzing online, showing us the team that finished the game, all the kids that were on the pitch and all that, and parked the bus they did at home, but they got the job done, and Newcastle just couldn't do their job, couldn't break the team down, couldn't find a way through against a stubborn Amorim United.
Was it Amorim or Mourinho?
It's
like proper Mourinho. That
was
1-0 back the bus. That'll do. Sounds like it was like proper like flashback of 2017. Jose Mourinho back in it was horrible. But we said it last week, to be fair, we were going through our predictions and whatnot, and we said this is an opportunity because over the past few years, home or away, I haven't been scared of Man United.
Nah.
The Man United of old, like Fergie's Man United, would absolutely have you shaking shitting in your boots. But nah, this Man United team can absolutely be got at, have done for the past few years. We've had a really good record against them home and away over the past 2-3 years. Usually not worried about them at all. I think this has probably been their best season in 2-3 years, but that's not really anything to say, is it? They've been shite.
What did they finish last year? 15th, doesn't it?
So they're definitely better than they were last year. Who knows about the year before that? They've been pretty poor for a kind of long time now. Right. So yeah, I've not been worried about them. We spoke about that depleted team with Mbumo out and Bruno Fernandes out.
Amad
Diallo's at the Africa Cup of Nations.
Maguire, De Ligt.
Yeah, so it was, we sat here a week ago and said it's a huge opportunity. They're there for the taking. If it was any other season, I would have absolutely fancied her. But just because of this season and we're away form, that was the only thing that I was worried about. And that was what probably what it was. I think if that was at home, would have won that 2-0.
No, we should have.
It would have been an easy win, that one. I reckon we absolutely would have done them in. But yeah, I mean, fair play to the goal. Patrick Dorgo, hell of a strike. Can't really take nothing away from the strike, really.
I think Ramsdale should have done better, though.
He could have been a bit stronger in it. Maybe he could have done a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it's a cracking volley, so try not to take too much away from him.
He had a really good game.
I did have a really good game. I mean, why does Luke Shaw turn into not Luke Shaw, the other left back, Lewis Hall? Why does Lewis Hall turn into the best player in the world when we play Man United? Every time we play Man United, he has the best game of his life. He's unbelievable. Old Trafford must just be his stadium. He's just absolutely incredible every time we go there.
Is it worrying that our best player on the pitch was Lewis Hall, the left back?
Probably.
The best footballer now. He was the only one that was carrying it forward.
He's absolutely class.
Posing a danger.
Yeah, had a shot hit the bar. He scored a long range one there. That was the year before or the year before that. But I had a long range shot. Yeah, he's absolutely unreal every time we play Man United. It was just a really, really frustrating game. Because I think if we were at home, we'd have won that. I thought we were probably the better team, just no end products, just lacked ideas in the final third, dominated possession. They weren't good. No. It was like one played Sunderland. Sunderland weren't good. Man United weren't good. And their fans will obviously they'll they'll take the win and they'll be kind of laughing at where, but like, are you really taking that? Like, are you really having pride in that win? It was a horrible win.
That's what I mean when I've got like Saeed and that trying to have a go at me, and you think, well, you enjoy that moment,
take the
mate.
day off.
But we all know you're going nowhere with this.
Like and back in the day when we got smashed by like Rooney and Ronaldo fucking 5-1 or whatever. Like fair enough. You're like, you take that.
But you buzzing
that team was
on the bus against Newcastle side that's got a shocking away record, and I mean. They did it because they knew that we weren't going to do anything with it. They knew that they could just park the bus and there was no threat.
Was pretty much
no danger.
It really was just Jose Mourinho. Like, get the 1-0. This team aren't going to do now. Park the bus. Do what you like, lads. Just see it through. That's it. It's dead easy.
Depressing, isn't it, when you see the standard? Because like you saying, it was like the same as Sunderland. If we had have turned up Man United and they did play amazing and Shesko scored a couple of goals and whatever, then you'd be like, fair enough. You know, they were the better side to turn up. But again, it's Newcastle letting themselves down.
Absolutely, yeah.
By not getting anywhere near our level.
Yeah, Van Eyck beating ourselves at the end of the day.
We are, right? That team doesn't even have to turn up. They don't do much. Sunderland is a fucking own goal. Man United, it's a volley out of nowhere. And then that's it. That's all it's wrapped up. All you're doing against Newcastle, score one goal and you're laughing. You won the game.
Just take the Mourinho tactics. Just park the bus 1-0. We're not going to do now. We're not going to threaten you.
And even if we do score a couple of goals, you got to come back anyway.
That was the thing that was worrying me because we've been good at scoring early, but conceding late. And as the game was ticking on, I was thinking, hold on, we didn't even fucking score early. I was still worried about conceding a late goal, but I was thinking, actually, we haven't even scored yet.
It's just chasing the game, yeah?
Pretty much. I just thought, like, we're not going to score late on. Like, as soon, like, last, like, 10, 15, 20, like, we could have still been playing now. We wouldn't have scored.
I said next Boxing Day we'll still be playing. We'll be playing for a fucking another 360 odd days and we wouldn't score.
Happy New Year, we might score a goal.
I hope so. I hope we score one tomorrow against Burnley.
Oh, fucking bad.
Talk about that soon though.
Jesus.
But we've had a super chat in from Matt Howe. Thanks very much for that one. $1.99. Well, it could be any dollars to be fair, but it is a dollar sign. Did we try to bring too many new players in? Matt asks on that one.
Potentially.
What was it, 5 or 6 on it with Alanga, Voldemort, Ramsey, Chow, Ramsdale?
One more?
Am I missing one?
The 5 signings. It was, yeah.
Aye, that's in it.
Wissa
as well, aye.
Yeah.
Just seen him though. Didn't see him for a few months.
Just about.
I guess there is a point in that. And obviously the big point is the change in system and change of Voldemort and Isaac, completely different strikers and stuff. And again, these players like Alanga and Ramsey that Howe put his faith in, that Howe put a lot of money on the table for, haven't turned up at all. You know, completely let him down. They're letting us down, and they're not playing anywhere near what they've shown they can do in the Premier League. It's not like we took a gamble on these players from France or it's a kid from Africa or whatever. These kids have been playing in the Premier League. These lads, Ramsey and Alanga, have had good seasons in the Prem for Villa and Forest. And then they come to us and they've just flopped massively. Yeah. Ramsey's obviously been in and out with injury. Alanga's lacking confidence, but it's just not good enough, man.
No, and I don't think it's a case of too many players. It might just be like the personnel. Because like we said in the summer, we absolutely nailed our summer window. Like we covered all the areas that we needed to. Right wing was our biggest need. Got
for a long time.
Got Alanga in. We knew we needed another goalkeeper. Maybe he wasn't quite the one that we wanted, but we got one. We knew we needed a right side centre back. We got one. We needed another centre mid. We got one. And we probably needed 2 strikers after selling Isaac and Callum Wilson going, and we got it. So I think we nailed our transfer window in terms of the positions that were brought in, but maybe it is a case of maybe it's just not gelling, not clicking. Like it's a terrible example because they've been shiting out. But when you look at like Liverpool won the league last year. And they still went and spent out fucking $500 million. Like the money that they spent, I actually kind of said that as a joke, but it actually wasn't it? About $500 million.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, well, no, I was just trying to think of like a Dr. Evil saying like $500 million, but I was like, actually, it was.
It was $500 million.
It was a Dr. Evil ransom.
It was, It really was.
Yeah. But yeah, like Liverpool didn't really need to spend that money, but they felt like they needed to strengthen. And there's nothing wrong with strengthening a team. Like we knew that we needed them individual positions that I just mentioned. So yeah, it's not a case of bringing in too many new players, but yeah, it's just things just haven't worked, things haven't clicked. And
I've got a horrible but true example that it wasn't too many players, and that is Sunderland.
Yeah.
They brought in like
brought in loads.
how many? What, 11, 12 players or something?
Every year, to be fair, newly promoted teams kind of have
Leeds,
to spend.
they're doing alright. They changed the squad.
Every newly promoted team got absolutely a ham in the fucking transfer window because
they
they
have
need
to.
to.
They
They
have
have to. Like, they're not going to survive with the same championship
So
squad.
Sunderland made more than double the amount of signings we made, and obviously we know that they're doing all right this season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but thanks for the super chat. Good question on that one. Caseball UK sends in this one. How must go now?
Whoa!
Capital letters, double exclamation mark, single exclamation mark. Clueless, predictable tactics. ...
That's right. Well done. Out then.
Classes there. And how many dots there was and how many exclamation marks there is. Very tired as well. What do you make of that one then? How must go now? Clueless, predictable tactics. I will agree on the latter part of that. Predictable tactics is very much the annoyance of me with how at the minute we've talked, and we'll talk about it again soon. The frustration of life like substitutes is really grinding my gears. And I suppose it is a bit clueless because in game and other opportunities to try and change things and adapt, he looks like he's lost of clues. He looks like he's breath of ideas at times.
Where's the press?
Gone with these. That
was like the best thing that we had going, and it was a proper Eddie Howe thing. Like, you did it at Bournemouth.
Aye.
That's like a proper Eddie Howe tactic, and we were meant at it. There's nothing you can really do to defend a high press. Like, that really has been like a signature Eddie Howe thing, and it worked for like 3 years, and now we're just not really doing it anymore.
Fancy doing that thing that brought all the success.
The thing that we're really, really good at, should we just stop doing that?
The 2 games where we looked good as well. Obviously, Chelsea first off, loads of pressing, brilliant. Take a 2-0 lead in 20 minutes. Man City at home, brilliant. Even Liverpool and Arsenal, we got beat for the first hour or so pressing. But like you say, majority of games, especially away from home, no pressing.
I just can't fathom it. I don't know why.
Do you think that James Bunce has had something to do with it? Because that's why I'm starting to lean towards, because he was brought in as like a performance enhancing coach, wasn't he, in terms of looking after players because we're having too many injuries and too many muscle strains. And is he coming in and being like, "Oh, how come we slow down, lads? Just didn't press too much, didn't run too much." You got and Eddie Howe as well. Maybe like, we've got 3 games a week. We need to preserve the energy, that sort of thing. But you preserve your energy, and then you're just losing games. So
that's why we need a full-ass squad.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. Yeah, we're playing 3 games a week, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to be in this situation. We wanted to be in the Champions League. We want to go far in the domestic cups. You can't complain about it. Like, my legs are tired. We're 3 games a week. Fuck off. Suck it up. You know what I mean?
Suck it up, chump.
I ain't getting like 100-odd grand a week. Like, fair enough. Like,
do your job. Do your job. Really.
Do your job.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, well, that's what we need to do. That's another Eddie Howe thing. He demands intensity, he demands running, he demands the miles, and that's an Eddie Howe trait. Like, if you don't run, like Sir Maximin and like a John Joe Shelby, like, some people just don't work in his system because if you don't run, you don't put the effort in, you don't press, you're gone. So how can he do the thing that he's kind of demanded over the past 3 years and kind of revert to that? If it is Bunce telling him to do that, then he needs to get shot.
Because you look at the table.
Yeah. Whoever it is to blame for not putting the press in, if it is an Eddie Howe thing, then he needs to kick up the arse. If it's another one kind of telling him, maybe you need to like preserve energy in this game, that game, whatever. I'm sorry, but that's the one thing that's worked like unanimously over the past few years. And so if someone's taking it away, I'm sorry, but you need to get going.
Exactly.
We need to take you away, not the high press.
Because we've seen what's worked and what isn't working now.
No.
And it is this, and if you're not going to go from the high intensity, the counter, and we're still trying to like do it without doing it really, because it's not like we've swapped the high intensity for a possession based game.
If we were doing something else really, really well and it was working, then fair enough. But it's not. No. We haven't replaced that with anything else that works. So.
No, we just we just took that one thing away and then just oh my god. Jason with a chat that's flying in the night. Big up everyone. People are feeling generous around Christmas time. Tis the season of giving.
It is the season to be jolly. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Did Newcastle scout Alanga properly because he's decent in the counter-attack team, but a team wants to dominate the ball, he's not it. Well, this is the problem because Eddie Howe focused on Alanga for a good couple of seasons, tried to sign him on a couple of deadline days prior.
Big fan. Gets
his man, surely in the hope and aim of playing with his Swedish compadre, Alexander Isak.
I think that was a big part of it.
Isak leaves, and then all of a sudden the Alanga attributes and the Alanga skill set to go alongside what would have been with Isak, where, like I mentioned, on the counter, getting behind, square at Isak, goal. That was the dream. That was surely the aim and the plan, and then that goes away, and then now you've got Alanga, who, as we continue to say and get annoyed at isn't using his key attribute pace. But then if he does use his pace, and there's Neo in the box because Voltemar's style is very different, where he's obviously dropping deep and stuff.
And he's extremely slow.
But it's just not a good mix and it's not a good blend. But then again, Alanga's just not getting into them positions at all.
Nah.
And watching the Chelsea game back, said it last week, Ramsdale with the NFL throw over the top. He's in against Chelsea and he cuts back and then Whistler's there. He could square it, Whistler.
Yeah.
And then he had the shot on goal. He decides to go for it and he puts it well wide. That's the only sort of time where we've seen him use that pace. He had one or two little sniffs against Sunderland like that. He just doesn't use the ball well. And you can see, he's got zero confidence at the minute. But yeah, the scouting of Alanga was surely for a different game plan than what we can do at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest frustration for me with Eddie Howe and the probably thing that could have been the nail in his coffin was losing that derby. I think not just because we lost it, but because of how we approached it.
The way we lost
Absolutely shocking. And we did set up just with speed. I mean, based on form, our two best wingers, right and left, is Murphy and Barnes. But he went with Alanga and Gordon because of speed. He wanted to kind of let Sunderland have all the ball and just kind of go on the counter-attack, use your fast wingers and get in behind them. And that was his plan to win. It was a terrible one to begin with, but the fact that it didn't work and we had no plan B around it, just goes to show you, just how bad of a plan that was. But yeah, that was the game that Alanga and Gordon were put in for. Use your bloody pace, get on the counter-attack, but we just didn't do that. No. So his job is futile at the minute. What's he here for?
Why? He's bringing nothing to the table.
He really doesn't bring that to the table. I say he's got one key attribute and he rarely uses it.
Yeah. Again, Chelsea second half, there was so many times getting in the ball in the right areas and he's just not going for it. And I know that's because he's not got much self-belief to take on his man, but you got to again suck it up. Suck it up and give it a go.
Yeah.
Do you mean give it a go? And he's just losing the ball all the time. He's just looking miles off it, absolutely miles off it. Shout out this one from the films. Press isn't sustainable 3 games a week. No plan B. And he's right.
True.
It's unsustainable. You can't do that 3 times a week. You can't do it away in Germany and then in the derby and all whatever you're doing 3 games a week.
Yeah.
And then again, that goes back to what I said yesterday on a video about Eddie Howe, and the criticism I give him is the lack of adaptation, the lack of a different idea, the lack of a different plan, the lack of in-game management where if something's not going right, then there's another option. There never is. It's the same old 4-3-3. It's the same like subs. And it is, infuriating when you don't have a different chance, because I seen it yesterday. Chelsea Villa. Was it yesterday or the day before? The day before. Chelsea Villa. They were 1-0 down, Aston Villa at Chelsea. Unai Emery makes a couple of substitutions, changes the formation, they're going to win the game 2-1.
Yep.
I can't ever think of a time when Eddie Howe's done that to me.
Especially away from home, I dread going behind. As soon as we're 1-0 down, I think, why not? I'm lucky to get a point out of this.
Aye.
Like I said, there's just no change. There is no plan B. And I get the comment there we just said, the press is the key thing. If you cannot do it, then suck it up. That's what's going to work. If people get injured, that's why you need a full squad. That's what I think. But I agree that it maybe can't be sustainable 3 games a week, but you need to have that plan B. And I think maybe that's why the away form suffered. Maybe we've kind of put that little bit more emphasis on winning at home. But if we're going away from home, there needs to be an alternative. But even in game, things aren't changing. Fair enough, if you try something and it doesn't work, revert to a different plan B, plan C, whatever. But there just isn't one.
No.
We just don't have any idea when things aren't going right, how to adapt. Like I say, whether Unai Emery make the right changes, a different couple, like a formation change, different players. Like I say, we're always making for like. The amount of times that we've done them 3 subs, we start for Voltemar, Barnes for Gordon, Murphy for Alanga, or vice versa. It's just them exact same 3 subs that make no fucking difference. It's just no change. There are
still doing it every single week.
doing the exact same job. There's no change in idea, no change in tactic, just like for like, and nothing changes, surprisingly, and we don't get the win, and we wonder why.
That's why if you're not going to go with that press, and we've mentioned it, that intensity, then you do have to change your style of play. Then you do have to. Why aren't we trying to be a more possession-based side? Why aren't we utilising your Tonali and your Brunos and stuff where they should be able to keep the ball better? Because we have midfielders like that. We have ball playing centre backs, even still in Shaw, and Chow's comfortable on the ball and that. You know, everything seems to be geared still towards the pace and the counter when we haven't got that anymore, because you've got Elanga bang out of form. Even if all the wingers are bang out of form, apart from Barnes, and then he gets dropped every week. So, you know, Barnes over the bloody season of his life was up for player of the month, and then Gordon's back, his headband, chuck him in, then and then it's just it is annoying. Like, and people are saying, you know, we're tailor made for a 4-2-3-1, and that's what fans are crying out for over and over again, is 4-2-3-1, or, you know, where we can get Wissa and Voltamada involved together, which is what we're going to talk about soon. But some good super chats there. Nice one, people. Appreciate those. Keep them coming in if you want them guaranteed to be read out. You know, the notes around the Man United game was that sort of thing where the wingers in the midfield had no creativity again. How much of a worry is this becoming? Because when we're going into games like this, and it didn't help that obviously Man U did like to go full on part the bus and brought like 6 centre backs on to break them down. We did see a little bit of it towards the end of the game where Harvey Barnes came on, he set up Gordon and he blasted it over, and 1 or 2 moments, but nowhere near enough to have that much possession where I think it was like 66% possession, to not do anything with that. More chances, more shots on target. I mean, we talked about Lewis Hall earlier. All we're hoping for is him to smash one in. You know, guns off the bar, and that's our best chance, really. But I do have to say, you know, that midfield was really poor. I mean, what's going on with Tonali? What is going on with Tonali? Links again to Juventus today. That will be their dream signing in January. They've said he looks out of it. I thought Bruno had a poor game. Ramsey again had his chance, didn't take it. You know, and again, the wingers just really, really out of touch, everyone.
Yeah.
So far off the pace.
Yeah, I can't even put a finger on it. It's just more like frustrating than anything. Like, like Tonali, who's arguably one of our best players. Like, Bruno always puts an effort in, and I always like appreciate Bruno's effort, even if he's not on it. Like, he gives it his all, that's what you can really ask for. But I like Tonali's been off it for a good few weeks.
Aye. It's doing me head in that Bruno giving the ball in dangerous areas as well, man.
It was just a horrible, horrible game to watch. I think even from like a neutral, even from like a neutral standpoint, it wasn't a good game.
The one game that chose to be on television on Boxing Day.
It was a terrible game.
It was a terrible game. Well, we'll finish off on that, to be honest with you, because we went on with super chats and stuff. Anyways, lastly, was it a pen?
The handball.
I
think it probably was.
I think it was. Like, I think that's back-to-back games now with Chelsea and Man U, like, where we've been robbed a bit, to be fair. And, you know, there's controversy over that ref where he lives 6 miles from Manchester. I don't know how he's allowed to manage and referee these games. No, I think so. But
pretty weird, that.
I had all the Man United fans in my comments on the video saying it was never a pen because it hit his body first.
Did it?
For me, I thought it looked like I thought he rolled down his bloody sleeve like Shaquille O'Neal.
I need to see the replay on that one, but I can't remember hitting his body.
And I've not had too many pints in Fleet Street or not, but I thought it was straight off the arm. Like
twice. He's on twice.
It was a pen for me. Be interesting to see what the comments think on that one, whether it was a pen or not. But Newcastle not getting the rub of the green once again.
Of course,
players are bang out of form, but we're not getting any help or that bit of fortune, which sometimes you just need, especially when you're in these sort of patches of form and not picking up results. You need something to go your way. And that moment against Chelsea, when it's 2-1 Newcastle, if we get the pen, it's 3-1. You'd hope we'd hang on to it. And then there, Old Trafford, you know, when it's 1-0, if we get a 1-1, maybe the game opens up and they try and go for it a bit more and we could catch them. But, yep. No, look, once again, on the officiating side of things for Newcastle, big problem once more for VAR and the lack of quality referees in the league. On the lack of creativity as well, and we talked about there that the wingers aren't offering enough, the midfielders aren't chipping in. Are you seeing who's on the top of the assists table for Newcastle United this season?
I haven't actually, no. Wingers haven't really put much effort in, so...
Wingers, no. So, top of the assists this season... All equal, by the way, these three.
It's going to be Murphy. Murphy's still put a couple in.
Maybe he's got 1 assist.
Has he?
In the league, because he's only getting games, really.
Yeah.
3 players who've got 2 assists across the season for Newcastle.
Push the boat out.
Bruno Guimaraes. Louis Mailey, who's only been playing for about 2 weeks. He's got 2 assists already. And Big Dan Burn. Dan Burn has got more assists this season than Gordon, Barnes, Alanga, Denali. I could go on and on.
Bloody hell.
How mad is that? How bad is that?
Where the hell did Dan Burns assists come from?
Just big headers, backstick.
I suppose.
Heading them across the goal and that, isn't it?
That's horrible.
It is horrible, that, isn't it?
So, like, how many did Jacob Murphy get last year? Was he not like second in the league to Salah last year?
Didn't he get 11 last year?
And now he's not putting it on a plate to Isaac every week, and he's not starting week in, week out. But bloody hell, that's awful. Like Gordon's one of our highest paid players. So is Tonali. Tonali's like a pass master. That's like one of his key traits. He's passing. Barnes, like, he spent £55 million on a Alanga to tee up the striker. Don't think he's got one. Nah, it's shocking start that. Like, it's awful. Like, Miley, fair enough. Like, Miley actually has done really, really well recently. So fair play to him, and got a couple of goals as well. But yeah, it shouldn't really be relying on Dan Burn lead your assist chart. Like,
what's going on, man? When you got Dan Burn leading the assist chart, when you've only got 2 assists, though,
yeah, no, it's not as if he's got like 6.
Your whole team's only got the max of 2 assists, and we're nearly in 2026.
Yeah, but we've kind of used this excuse in the past, like when we've been talking about form and stuff, and we said, like, it's not even Christmas yet. Well, Christmas has passed. New Year's in 2 days' time or something like that, 2-3 days' time. Like now's like the midway point of the season, like where like things are becoming real. Like you've had that excuse, like maybe it's like November time. You can use the excuse. Certainly like October, like before that season starts in August. Certainly August, September, October. You can use the excuse. It's still early.
Early days.
November, maybe you're pushing the boat a little bit, but now we're slap bang in the middle of the season, and there's no more excuses. Like, needs to start turning around.
I've tried to be a bit level-headed on that and not go crazy as a typical fan channel and be like, this needs outrage and all that, even though I do very much rant after games. But in terms of like trying to give these players and the manager time and have a bit of patience and, you know, it's about level-headedness. It is wearing thin. It really is wearing thin, because we are, you know, a few days away from the new year. We are halfway through the season now.
3 days away from January transfer window.
Exactly. We need to get in that bloody transfer window, which we'll talk about soon. But lastly, I said before on the game that I think Aaron Ramsey should have done better with the Dorgu straight, albeit a good hit. You know, Ramsey gets his hand to it. He should get a stronger hand to it. I just really haven't been impressed with Ramsdale, to be honest. At the start, he looked pretty good against Spurs in the Cup and that. But yeah, he's just not the answer for me. And I still don't think Nick Pope is the answer. I still want a new goalkeeper.
Nah.
But what should we do next in for Burnley tomorrow night? Nick Pope, should he come back against his former side? Would you keep the faith with Ramsdale? Pope, he was on the bench for the first time in a while at Old Trafford.
I don't care.
Doesn't make a difference.
It really is like for like, isn't it? Like, I'm not really.
We'll have a like for like, don't we?
Like, that's what we said when we brought in Ramsdale. Like, it was a bit underwhelming. Like, we wanted James Trafford in the past to have been like, Mamdashvili and people like that. Like, we wanted, like, I always felt like if we were going to replace Pope, which I felt was necessary over the past couple of years, like, we know, like, Pope is a good shot stopper. His distribution's been terrible. He's crossing like 33-year-old or whatever he is. Like, he's kind of due a replacement now. I think he was a fine short-term fill-in, like when we signed him. And to be fair, even at that time, I felt similar to how I do now. Like, I felt like, is Pope a massive improvement over Dubravka? I never really felt that he was, to be honest. Like, maybe slightly.
Who's going to have the better game than Ronnie Dubravka?
And again, with Ramsdale, like, is Ramsdale a massive improvement over Pope? Like, he's ball playing, distribution might be a bit better, but is he a better shot stopper?
No,
probably not.
Definitely not.
Like, it's just chalk and cheese, isn't it? Like, how am I meant to pick one? Like, no one's really considerably better at anything.
No.
So you know what I mean? Like one might be better at this, but then the other's better at that. So like, Pope's a better shot stopper, Ramsdale's better distribution, and but neither one of them is phenomenal.
Lesser of two evils.
So it really is. So that's why I'm in the middle of not giving a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not one of them really impresses me significantly more than the other. So how am I meant to pick one?
Yeah, for me, I would just go back to Pope because I just feel a bit safer with him. To be fair, as rocky as he has been throughout this season already, he did still have the 3rd most clean sheets in the league when he got injured. Don't know what it is now. We had 5 at the time.
Ramsdale isn't as rash. I think he's a better thinker.
And I don't know. Pope does pull off some really good saves, to be fair. Like, it's just, again, he just pulls off some calamities and all. Some mad decision making, and distribution is terrible. Yeah. But for now, I don't know, maybe just bring him back in and then bring someone else in next fucking week. Bring me a keeper in next week. Whether it's
January 1st.
January 1st. I want to see bloody Trafford. Wait, it's going to be Trafford. We'll link with them again. We'll link with Trafford again. And even Trafford it's a risk because of how young he is.
Yeah.
And how much he hasn't played that well in the Premier League before.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of his. I've stuck up for him. I do want to see him. I don't know. There's still, though, obviously, he didn't have a great start of life at City. Big pressure there, though.
Yeah.
Didn't have much of a chance. Burnley, I think it's quite harsh to judge him because he had a terrible defence in front of him. Company was just playing wide open football.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you get Trafford in next month?
I would like to give him a shot. When we're talking about massive upgrades, I think he's just got more potential. Like in the here and now, I don't really see him being a massive upgrade.
That's the point.
But
Again,
I think he is better. So I think he is an upgrade. It's not massive, and he's still young enough where he's got like the potential. Like Pope's about like 33, Ramsdale's about 28. Like there's not really a huge future in either one of them. You can't really give either one of them like a 5-6 year contract and kind of play them out as your future. Like that, there isn't really one. So with Trafford, like I think he's young enough and good enough to take a risk on, but it could kind of end up being like a kind of Pope kind of plug and play short term 2 or 3 year replacement, and then we'll kind of look for your replacement a little bit further down the line.
Yeah.
But I just don't really see it happening because we've already got Ramsdale on loan. Like I think Trafford would be a loan as well, and like we've gone through having Odysseas Vlachodimos with.
He's actually doing really well in Spain.
Yeah, with Mark Gillespie and Dubravka and Pope and everyone else.
John Ruddy. Big John.
Yeah, like we just have far too many goalkeepers.
We do.
And like bringing Trafford in, it's just another one. Like, can we cancel Ramsdale's loan if we do that? I don't think we would do that. Like,
he's not going to
seem like there's any point in doing that.
Ramsdale is not going to be made permanent, is he? There's apparently an option of 28, 30 million to sign him as knee transfer deal.
Ramsdale, less of that.
It's knee transfer deal and that. So
5 year again, I would have.
I think again, Trafford. If we could do something in January, I would. But there's a part of me where I am like, we need to find that.
We need to find the right one.
The proper number one who's going to be here for 5 years. And yes, Trafford has the youth, so as you said, he has the potential to maybe kick on, improve, and he's in the England setup and that. Highly rated. Still question marks whether they can do it in the top flight though. Really,
yeah.
So it's a gamble for a team like us who are apparently meant to be going for top 5, top 6 every year. You want to really find that keeper who's just going to come in and be that man for like a few years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
he needs to be like a jack of all trades now. He needs to be a good shot stopper. He needs to be good on the ball. He needs to be able to distribute. Like,
it's a shame, obviously, Liverpool did get Mamadishvili because he would have been an ideal shout. We could get the one from, his name slips your mind, the Dortmund keeper that we're linked with. That would be a good shout.
Cobble.
Cobble, I would like him. Because he's top, you know what I mean? He's a class keeper that should come in and Champions League experience, big experience at a big club as well, winning trophies and stuff.
Yeah. Seville's keeper's good.
He is. He actually is. He's actually one of the best in the league, I think, on stats-wise this season. So
Madness,
man.
Imagine if we actually brought him back and he was my number one.
Just give him a shot. Ramsdale's crap. Wouldn't put a bit of a liability.
Like 5th choice goalkeeper for 2 years.
Aye. He just goes back, proves a point. Many.
What a story that would be.
It will be. Some people in the comments, saying Trafford's not the answer. And he probably isn't in terms of taking us to that next level. He's not going to.
He's a risk. I think he could pay out, but it is a gamble.
Nah, it is a gamble. Should just go and get Magnus keeper, shouldn't we? Roofs. He's Harry, kid from France. No one's ever heard him before. He's doing brilliant. Get him in.
We used to be good at doing that. Scouting the French market.
Oh, did I?
Get Alan Carr's father back. You can scout the French market.
Graham.
Yeah, Gouffrans, Kabais and all that.
All right. Sounds canny. Well, that apparently what Ross Wilson's like agenda is, isn't it? We talked about it last week on the show, to look for European talents, younger players across Europe to save some cash and not waste money on the likes of Elanga in the Premier League. Right then, where was I in the old notes? Before we do talk transfers, there's plenty of rumours flying about now. You can see we are closing in on the new year and the new winter window fast approaching. Bit on Eddie Howe, because in the title, after the Trippier and Joelinton for sale title there, we have got Howe needs to change. And we have kind of discussed this throughout the show and with the super chats and that, with his lack of ability to adjust and adapt tactics in game. So what would appease you, Kegan? Let me know in the comments for how to change, and what would you like to see him do more in game to give you a bit of faith that he is the right man for the job? He can turn things around, and we want to see more than just the same 4-3-3 like subs every week.
Yeah,
because as we've said, it's so annoying when it's 70 minutes and you know exactly what you're going to get. Alanga for Murphy, Barnes for Gordon. And shock horror now changes because you're just swapping shit. You're not changing the style of play. You're not changing the formation. They're defending the same players, and those players are out of form that you're bringing on, really. Yeah. So what's next? What can you do? What do you want to see him change? But again, we're probably being a bit naive here because he hasn't changed anything in 4 years.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. The only thing that I would like to see would change is go back to what we used to do. Like, I'm not looking for like a drastic change. I just want to go back to how we played last year.
The old press.
The old press and counter-attack and stuff. Like, we just aren't good at that anymore. Like, we're one strong suit currently isn't working. Well, it's not because it isn't working, it's because we're not fucking doing it.
Not trying.
So, I mean...
So just bringing back that intensity. The press.
I mean, I would say so, but it's probably harder it's easier said than done.
Aye.
So we'll have like bought new players. We've sold some players that we didn't want to sell. So it is like maybe it's like a little bit of a transitional period that's taking a little bit longer to click than we would have liked to. Maybe once it does click, we can maybe kind of go back and kind of do like the proper old school Eddie Howe formation or tactics. Maybe that's just kind of what he's waiting on, players to kind of get up to his level and have everyone like working as a squad as one unit. I say we've brought a few different people in. We've had loads of injuries as well. Like obviously, Wisa's only just come back, and we've lost Tino's been in and out, Burns out now, Shaw's been out. Like, we've lost loads of people, quite like long term, some of them as well. Hall missed the majority of the beginning of the season as well.
Now Tino's out. They never fit together. Does in my head when they weren't fit together against Man City, we won.
So I think that's a big shame. Like, I think injuries have really played a big part in it as well. Like, new players just kind of getting up to speed.
Marler's not the striker for a press at all either, is he? Like,
not really, no.
He did it against Leverkusen, won a pen, but in terms of being able to do it for the 70 minutes that he's on the pitch every time,
I think we're relying on having a fully fit squad, because I think our squad is good on paper. We could probably still do more with one or two stronger signings to kind of boost the squad a bit. But something that you mentioned before, like everyone wants to see Wissa and Valdemar play together, probably change to like Valdemar in the number 10, where Wissa are up front. But I think the only problem for me, as well as probably what Eddie Howe's thinking of as well, is that they're only strikers. Like, we haven't got another one. If that doesn't work, what are you going to do? Because Asula's out. Like, Asula's my third choice striker. He's out. So literally one of them gets injured. You're going to have to proper change things up. And you're kind of going to end up reverting back. And then you've got no striker on the bench, unless you're counting like Sean Neve or something like that. Like, we're just not deep enough to kind of be fanning on with them kind of chit things. Like, I think that's why them two can't play together. It's kind of more of like a security blanket kind of thing. Like, you don't want one on or them both being on and both of them getting injured, because then what you're going to do midweek, if they're both knackered, they're only running on like 60% fitness or whatever for the next game, like, who are you going to play? Like, it's like, it's just a bit of a gamble. So he's kind of trying to rotate them. He's trying to be smart in rotating them, but you're just not really kind of getting any end product from neither. I think you would like to see Wissa as the older and more experienced and Premier League proven striker. You want to see him get more minutes. I think he's still just kind of bleeding in them minutes, though. He's still not really up to scratch yet. And Valdemar has played loads of football, so you want to see him get a bit more of a rest. Like, but I really don't know what we're going to do to fix it. I think there's a lot of things. I don't really think there's one thing that you can put your finger on and say that's it. I think there's a lot of things kind of gone on. Like, maybe it's behind the scenes. I still think there's maybe like a bit of a uncertainty in the dressing room. I think Isaac's proper throwing a wobbler in there. Like, he's kind of really like confused things. Some people are probably like against Eddie Howe at the minute. Some maybe aren't. Some people aren't happy. A lot of people are injured. I say a lot of people are still finding form and fitness and what have you. There's millions of things that really could be the problem, and all of them amalgamating just as turning into an absolute shit show. But yeah, what the one thing is to fix were, how the hell am I meant now?
Yeah, because Eddie doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Eddie doesn't know, so how am I meant now?
He's getting paid $4 million, yeah.
I'm just sat here fucking chatting waffle, you know what I mean?
Getting free beers because it gets around here for us. And that is good, to be fair. It is good. But I think, a lot of the fans do want to see Wissa and Valdemar together, me included. I do want to see us going to the market for a 10 in January. We've been crying out on this podcast. We started a few years ago. We do need that creative outlet. We do need a bit more of a spark to break the lanes and to create more chances. And you're right. and it's sensible in what you're saying, and that's definitely the Howe approach and the football and coaching side approach to why those aren't really playing together. Because if one gets injured or both of them get injured, then we're just double knackered for the next game. That's midweek, whether that be Carabao semis or Champions Leagues or FA Cups. So there is that gamble, but the gamble that we're currently having is the season falling off a cliff, which it very much is, to be honest, with these away results lately. Old Trafford, Stadium of Shite. So for me, tomorrow night, I do want to see a change, even if it is still 4-3-3. We know Wissa can play across the front three. Did that for Brentford. We know Baltimore can play deeper. So whether that's them in a 9 and 10 alternating, whether that's Wissa on a flank because the wingers haven't been doing that all season anyways, then try that. Do that. Try and mix things up.
The old school 4-4-2, mate.
Do it, mate. Big and small.
Crouching Defoe.
Yes. Crouching Defoe.
Crouch coming deep, getting the flick on Defoe. There you go. That's the winner.
I want to see that. I really want to see that. I'd be very happy with the 4-4-2. Honestly, I would.
Either.
Get Murphy.
At least it's different.
Murphy's a proper right.
He's a proper old school winger.
So he can just cross the bar and like Beck's back in the day. You know what I mean? And then on the left, Barnes is a bit more of a probably left mid.
Yeah.
So there's your two left mids. Have Tonali and Bruno in the middle. There we go.
No.
Sword.
Eddie,
there's the answer. We have found the answer. We got there in the end.
Eddie,
it's 4-4-2. It's Mike Bassett. It's Crouching Defoe. It's Wissa and Voltamada. Try it.
Yeah.
You can't lose.
There really is not to lose at this point, to be fair.
You can't lose in comparison to already losing the away games anyways. Even if you do lose, well, we lose anyways. So it's not going to get any worse, is it? Trying the 4-4-2 isn't going to get any worse. We might actually score a goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was frustrating for fans against Chelsea when it was like we had all the chances and all the ball and stuff and we're going for it. And again at Old Trafford, having all the ball but not doing enough. Well, keep the big man on, flick it on to Wissa. What was mad? I didn't mention it, but against Man U, we spent the whole game not crossing the ball. Wissa comes on for Voltamada. The 7-foot striker comes off the 5 foot. It's not crossing the ball.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, wow, mate.
It's not crossing. It's gone straight out Wissa's head.
Yeah.
Voltamada.
That's where I would have liked them both to have been on at that point. Like once we're actually starting to get some crosses in, because we've done the same at Sunderland.
Did I?
Gordon and Alanga weren't putting shit in until Barnes and Murphy came on. We're actually starting to whip the ball in. Then like Wissa's the one where it just went past him. Like he stretched his foot out. Voltamada's fucking 6'7" legs would have got on the end of that. You know what I mean? like the goal against Chelsea. That's exactly what would have happened if Voltamada got on the end of that. That could have been 1-1.
That's true, right?
Yeah,
that's great. So if we could do that tomorrow night, that would be good. But Howe needs to adapt more. Needs to change in-game. The lack of in-game management really annoys me. To differ your tactics, as I mentioned before. Unai Emery doing it at Stamford Bridge and getting the win on the weekend. You just don't see Eddie being proactive. It's always reactive, and it's always reacting in the same way by bringing on late flight players with 15, 20 minutes to go. Infuriating. So he does need to change that. Again, on the weekend after the Old Trafford defeat, a lot of fans, the pressure's ramping up on Eddie Howe. They seem to be getting louder. The people calling for him to go out. I did a reel yesterday on the back of the video I did on YouTube. I put it on Instagram, just a clip. And I did actually do a vote on there. We've had a couple of thousand votes. And out of 1,241 on there, 76%, are Howe in, 24% are Howe out. So that's out of 1,241 votes on that one. Did the same across Facebook, just because when you see a lot of comments, Greg, and a lot of them are Howe out and stuff, sometimes you just don't know what it is, where it's coming from. And it's good to get
see
an idea of it, isn't it? Really, it's good to get an idea of it. And I've got no idea how to view that on Facebook, to be honest. But I think because I posted it, I can't see it. But either way, the backing online there, I know. The backing online there is still in Howe's favour. You mentioned last week that you were off the fence a little bit, that you could see it in the distance, but you're still supporting Eddie Howe. You're still believing in him to turn this around?
I do, in some sense. I've just got more fears that it could go worse if we sack him. And I think he's earned us. I think when all's said and done, if the news broke right now, Sky Sports News, Newcastle fire Eddie Howe.
That'll be a mad show.
It would be a kind of mad show, aye? Good timing. But if when all said and done, if he were to leave, like right now, he goes down as, if not the best, one of Newcastle's all-time greatest managers for what he'd done, winning the cup, first one in 70 years. Bobby didn't do that. Keegan didn't do that. We've gone to 2 Champions Leagues in 3 years. We're on the brink of we are in a third Carabao semi-final in 4 years.
Yep.
Close to winning that final. We've beaten 2 finals, won 1, lost 1. Like, he's been a legend, and he will be. He's statue worthy for what he's done for this club. He's statue worthy. He's a legend. So I think based on that, he's earned a bit of time. I think just shoving him out the second that like shit hits the fan, he doesn't warrant that. I think he's earned at least until the end of the season. But my biggest fear is that it really just does go tits up, because I think the players are still playing for him. I don't think there's any unrest in the dressing room in terms of Eddie Howe. I think there has been because of the whole Isaac situation. But if the dressing room's divided over a fucking striker, what are you going to do with a manager? Like, if the manager leaves, like, I reckon that could be civil war. I reckon loads of players will probably want to leave. I think loads of players are still behind Eddie Howe, and they'll probably put in transfer requests if he leaves. And so I think it'll go tits up. But my other fear is, who do we replace him with? Like, that's what we spoke about, was it last week or the week before? Like, who is available right now worthy of replacing him? And if we're going to replace him, you want someone better. You want the next one who's going to push on, someone who's just going to like stagnate. Well, what's the point in that? We might as well just kept him and give him time to see it through.
Because that's a lot of the names that are linked. If you look at the bookies odds now, and they've kind of slashed the odds a little bit on Eddie Howe getting sacked and who's going to replace him. The managers that are high up on that list is Iriola at Bournemouth. Is he going to be a needle mover? I do like him. There's potential there. We don't really know, do we?
He's a decent name.
He's not like guaranteed to come in and be like a record breaker or a big name. Going to get the signings in, going to guarantee your success. Definitely isn't. So it's a risk. Yeah. Marcus Silva at Fulham. Yeah. And these players, managers, are in charge of clubs that are currently below Newcastle, Bournemouth and Fulham. You know what I mean? Having bad seasons. Yeah. So that makes no sense. It's kind of like the bloody goalkeeper situation. Put up a Ramsdale. Howe Silva, Howe thingy. Yeah. Waste, really, because Howe's done more than that, And then we sat here last week. I said, dream target, Simeone, realistic target, Glasner. Glasner at Palace, contract up end of the season. Looks like he doesn't want to renew it. But then again, they're falling off a bit lately. I watched them yesterday against Spurs. They were not great. Got beat at home 1-0. They've been terrible in Europe. They haven't even got through the Conference League. They're into the bloody playoff of the Conference League. They couldn't even beat teams at home that we've never even heard of and can't pronounce the name.
And we're wanting to play Champions League against Barcelona and PSG.
Aye. So, I like Glasner. He's won FA Cup and stuff. But again, that's the thing. Like,
who's going to be the
who's going to improve?
And if it was like right here, right now, them names that you just mentioned in contracts, you'd have to buy them out.
Aye.
Like, you'd have to pay them out of that contract, so which would be a massive payout to the club. Then you'd probably have to give them massive wages. You'd have to put them on a big contract, because I think it's hard to get a manager out of contract at this stage in the season, especially someone who's probably quite happy with where they are, like a Glasner or someone like that. I think you'd have to give them really, really big wages to pry them away from that team.
You just wait 6 months.
That's what I mean. That's why I just think keeping Eddie Howe until the end of the season, I think it's easier to get a manager to leave that club
definitely
in the summer. That's why I just think sacking Eddie Howe right now just doesn't make any sense.
No.
We're just better off just kind of saying it out until the end of the season, kind of seeing what happens. It might go tits up, but I think it'll be worse if we sack him.
No one's going to be able to really come in and we're not a million miles off. Like, 7 points off or something? The top 6.
It's really tight. But it can be turned around in a few weeks.
I think, like you say, for what he's done and stuff, I'm hanging in there. Yes, a lot of the stuff has been really annoying this season. Some very much unacceptable, to be honest. These away performances, isn't that?
The derby was
really bad.
Really could have been the last straw. Like,
I just think we have to reassess it in March, April, towards the end of the season, and maybe we'll just say like, "Aye, thanks for the memories," and move on. But for now,
put an interim until the end of the year.
But again, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, it's not going to achieve much.
Just until the end of the year.
Aye, brilliant.
Why would you do that?
Graham Jones again. Bring back Chris Heaton. You know what I mean? What we're going to do? We have to get a plan in place. I think what they should be doing now is obviously working out transfer targets for January, seeing where we go. Because obviously, like I said in the video yesterday, he's gone anyway. He's got the back of the board. They trust him. They believe in him. Yeah. They're going to give him funds again next month. and they are still pleased in terms of being in semi-final, being in the Champions League, FA Cup on the horizon. So let's see where we are. March time, and then if it gets to it and we're still in 12th, still floating around mid-table, 14th, whatever we are now after the other results, then you look at it and you think, you know, it is like, is this the right time to change to try and take us to the next level? Have we hit a ceiling? But I think it's still a bit too harsh to be judging it right now.
Yeah. As frustrating as it is, and I get the frustration.
But it's one of them things where both things can be true. Do you know what I mean? We can't sit here, criticize Howe, criticize the performances, the results, want some answers, want some changes from him, and want some improvements. But then also be like, you know how it is though. He's
still don't want him
being classful. Like we can turn it around.
I'm really annoyed and I'm fucking pissed off, but it doesn't mean I want him sacked.
Aye. And then if it is continuing like this towards the end of the season, then probably will be a change of thought and a different direction needed. But again, where'd you go? You know, it's not like there's loads of standout candidates there. There really isn't. There really isn't. Back to the super chats, where Jason put this one in before, and we talked about goalkeepers. Why didn't Newcastle go for Kelleher? Brentford winning for the Liverpool keeper. Aye, the bargain, really. I'd rather have them than Ramsdale, that's for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Decent keeper. Andy says Trafford and Marmouche for Livramento. Yes, no. I'd say no.
Well, I don't know.
Marmouche, guys, he's not getting much game time now, is he, Marmouche? I mean, Livramento was going to go regardless, to be honest. So he's definitely on his way out.
Wouldn't be surprised.
But it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. If it was like a straight swap, it's not the worst. Like
two players that would keep Aaron a thingy, but is Trafford? It's a tough that one.
Yeah.
Elliot Jones, have you seen the rumours of Sterling on loan?
Oh, goodness gracious.
Well, we're going to talk about this. So since he's had the super chat in there, cheers, Elliot, we'll discuss it now. Yes, there has been rumours of Raheem Sterling in Newcastle United on loan in the past 24 hours because obviously he isn't even training with the Chelsea first team. He's been pretty much banished from the squad, even though their wingers have been struggling a bit. Some Chelsea fans calling for him to come back in. Some want to see him go. Sterling refused a couple of options towards the end of the transfer window this summer. Didn't want to leave. Happy to sit there and pick up his $300,000 a week. Fair enough. That's his contract. You know what I mean? Whatever. Would you take him?
No.
Yeah.
Like 8 years ago,
You know.
I mean, look, what is
when
he
was at City and he was actually playing well?
Like, what has he done?
England.
Basically, this side of the decade.
No, it's not even. It's not. You're right. 8 years ago, like 2018, wasn't it? Like, when he was in the England team.
When he was at Man City, he was. I think leaving Man City is the worst thing he ever done. So he was shite at Chelsea. He went on loan to Arsenal last year.
Before that one, you remember?
He was class. Just young. He was like 18 or something. But
Arsenal loan was a disaster. Right? You don't want him.
You know what it is when he said he wasn't playing with the Chelsea team there. I was going to ask, like, who does he even play for? Like, because he hasn't played for Chelsea this year. I didn't know. I forgot. Forgot Arsenal was on loan. Like, it's just like his career has just kind of proper gone down the pan. I don't even know how old he is now. He's probably on the wrong side of 30, which doesn't touch Eddie Howe's like demands and stuff. Like, we kind of like younger players to come in. Like, what would be the point if you kind of get a game for Chelsea? If he's not even in the squad. What, like I say, he's done now in the past 5 years
and hasn't played in 5 months.
No,
he hasn't been training properly.
Barely even played for Arsenal. I kind of forgot he was even there. That's just absolutely 0 point in doing that. I say 8 years ago, the Man City Sterling, absolutely get him in right now. But that was a long, long time ago.
Because we were even linked before he went to Arsenal known last season. When we were crying out for a winger before we got Elanga and stuff. And for me, Sterling's past it. He hasn't played much matches at all of late.
Phenomenal career. He was an absolute legend. He was really good for England. Scored for major tournaments. Like he's in the 100 club in the Premier League. He's a legend. Won a lot of things with Man City and stuff. But time's passed for him now. Yeah, time to move on.
We got Brent for this one. He's been a member for 21 months. What a man. He has done another great year on TMC. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks very much. Yeah, it's
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And hopefully a turnaround in Newcastle's fortunes. That'll be nice. We don't have to discuss the things that we have been on this podcast so far. Back to the what other people see in the comments and just get a bit of a feel for people's opinions. People saying, we're going backwards. Villa overtaking us. I mean, what a season Villa are having after
really good,
Emery struggled at the start of the season, and then Yeah, he's really turned things around. Great unbeaten run there. Couple of points off the top, in the title race at the minute. Mancini, Richard calls for here.
It's not 2012.
Benitez is looking in the background. Again, it's not 2012. People rightfully blaming Eddie Howe's bunking the old 250 million last summer. I wouldn't say all the 250 million because, to be fair, Voldemort and Chow have been very good.
Oh yeah, they have. Yeah. Some people got tempted to come good.
Ramsey and Elanga, these are Premier League proven players who are, especially Elanga, who had a good season at Forest, man. It's just been so bad. Yeah. Like the video, people. It's free. Give her a like while you're watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't. As we're closing on the hour mark, we've still got a few things to run through. A couple of names there as well. Zidane hasn't managed for a while, has he?
He said he doesn't want to come to the Premier League. I would take Zidane, to be fair. Like, he's done a really good job around. He's done a really good job around. But is that the only job that he's had? He kind of walked in. I think he was with the Castilla team, and then straight into the number one job, and he's just knocked everything back since. He's been linked with like France and other big teams. I think he was linked with like Man City if Pep was to leave, but he's just been like, nah, I'm all right.
Chilling out. He'll probably take the Madrid job again.
But I think he said like repeatedly he doesn't want to come to England. I think he probably only...
Where's that then?
Probably, I think, just Spain and France. I think that's pretty much about it. But I think he's been heavily linked with like the France job. Like if it was ever to come up, I think he's like...
You could see that, couldn't you?
He's set in stone for the France job when that becomes available.
Lastly, on Eddie Howe, I did a video the other day on what he said in a press conference a few days ago. Comments on the stadium where he was saying that we're in limbo at the minute. We need a decision, from the owners in 2026 on the announcement, whether that be a new ground, redevelopment, a new training ground also. All these things need sorted and announced. He's called for the owners to show that, and then it would show a big sign of ambition and intent. But also, he said he would be 99.9% unlikely to be there. What do you think of that? Is that being blown out of proportion, or does that show how long it's actually going to be before we can get a stadium or a training ground? And I mean, why is it taking that long, especially the training ground, man?
Yeah, is that 99% unlikely to be still at the club when the stadium gets done?
Yeah,
I mean, it's understandable.
So most new stadiums take about 4 years to build.
That's to build. Like, we haven't even had it like announced yet. Like,
how once it announced?
There's a lot of like
26.
There's a lot of like business and deals and stuff to be done, like council planning permission. You got to pay for this, but you got to pay for the land. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that, like, it's not just, oh, we're going to build it there. Let's get some bricks and cement and just start building a stadium. Like, there's a lot more to it than that. Like, so it's gonna take a long time. And if it still hasn't even been agreed yet, like, we're probably still maybe 2-3 years away at least off even starting to build the stadium. It's going to take a few years, so we're probably going to be on the other side of this decade. Like, so yeah, like everyone's talking about how leaving now. Like, is he still going to be here in 5, 6, 7 years time? Because that's probably the time frame that we're looking at. It's not going to take.
Which is mad.
I think people think it's going to take over. I think people think it's going to take like a year or two. It's not. Like, we'll not have a stadium by this time in 2029.
No,
probably not even 2030.
Especially with
they're looking at 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, the Euros. So I just thought that was a bit strange because I mean it is kind of an exceptional arena. Like, Pep's been there nearly 10 years. I mean, that is definitely an exception. But Eddie's already been here 4. It's went over so fast, so he doesn't quite seem to have been here for another 4, I guess. See if we announce it next year, whatever we're going to do, and then he doesn't think he's going to be here in 4 years' time. He'd still be a young manager as well.
Yeah. I get his point. It's not to say that I'm going to leave, but like I said, with all the rumors going around at the minute, and he might just be thinking about his contract. I don't know how long he's got left on his contract, but you'll have to get a new one. And with everyone wanting,
I'll get one at the minute.
I was going to say, if everyone wants him sacked now, like, there's no chance of him getting a new contract. So
yeah.
So I get his point that it probably is unlikely that he'll still be here when that stadium gets done and when we're ready to move into it, like the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Like, by the time we're in our debut season in the new stadium, it's got to be a long time down the line. And yeah, Eddie Howe probably might not live that out. So I say people don't even want him to live out this season. So yeah, I get his point. I wouldn't really read too much into it. He's probably just kind of thinking logically. Yeah, he's not trying to hint on like, I'm away now. Like, that's that.
Do you think that it will be an announcement in 2026 on a new stadium and a new training ground? the stadium, like you say, is very difficult because we're trying to remain the city centre. We're having issues with Leazes Park. PIF, the Saudi Arabian owners, did get shown a presentation of a Leazes Park stadium plan and project last February. They still haven't pulled the trigger on that, obviously because of loads of different, probably, proposals against that, objections against it. But the training ground is something that should have been high on the agenda as soon as they walk through the door. We're seeing Amanda Staveley in the first bloody interview say how unacceptable the facilities were, kind of calling out like Ashley a little bit. And yes, they've spent millions and millions on upgrading the Benton base.
No, yeah,
but in the more than 10 million now, because there's work still ongoing right at the minute.
And that's probably the reason.
But yeah, I know there's that much needed done, and you can't do it overnight. But surely, like, a plot would have been done by now. And again, it's not. It's not like a world class facility is going to be built overnight, because they're talking about all these complexes in one. They're talking about, having spots on the training ground for players to be able to stay in, and like Real Madrid do, where Mbappe's got his balcony and he's got bloody hot tubs and FIFA on the go and everything. That's what they're on about. Exactly. That's what they want to give. They want to give that to Tonali, and they want to give that to the new players. They want to be like,
I didn't want a balcony around the other, to be fair.
No, you didn't. You're not going to use that, are you? Not going to use that. But if you had a new player coming to Newcastle in January, or like we had last summer, where they've got a choice between us and Man U, or this Chelsea and that, and you say, oh, by the way, yeah, look at that massive, unbelievable complex we're building that you're going to be able, because there's no FFP and PSR and infrastructure. So these things should be in place, and these things will impress people. Because again, we're seeing when Trippier signed from Atletico Madrid and what he had there, and Tonali, what he had at Milan, he got the training ground tour, and he's looking in the gym, and he said, is this it to his partner? You know what I mean? Like, oh, wait, man, that shit's embarrassing. Yeah. It should be down the line where the rich owners that we've got can be investing in training grounds that should be announced by now.
Yeah. But I think maybe part of the thing is that they are developing the current one. I think they've already spent at least 10 million and the work's still ongoing. So maybe it's kind of like a thing of like, why would we kind of move now when we've already spent so much money, and we're still continuing to spend money, we're continuing to improve? It could just be a thing like they might think like, probably just the same thing as St. James. It's like, should we just stay here? Should we just develop it? Should we just extend it? Should we just do this? Should we do that? Should we spend more money here, there, whatever? Like that kind of might be a thought process as well. So they might not even kind of have come to an agreement that we're absolutely definitely going to move.
I think they're backing away from it a little bit now, to be honest.
I don't kind of blame them for how much money that they've already spent on it and continuing work to be done. So that's one thing to look at, that it's probably going to continue to take time and might not be kind of high on their radar right now, where they're continuing to improve Benton.
Madness. Will we see some January madness? Because to be fair, I'm drinking this bailout right here, and it's got loads of cash on the can, and that's what I want to see. Spend some of that in the winter window. Start spreading that cash out, splashing it around the place, because we know we need it. But before a couple of names that have been linked in the last couple of days, let's talk about outgoings potentially. And it's only took an hour and 5 minutes to get into the headline of the video. Trippier and Joelinton for sale. Now this one's interesting. We'll talk Trippier first, because he's been out injured for a few weeks now, out of nowhere, that injury.
Out of the blue,
still no real sign or mention of him coming back. And then there's been reports online, a lot of rumours circulating around. We had a couple of local journalists and stuff saying there's more to it than an injury. And then it comes out in the press amongst various media that he could be going to Saudi. There's more interest once again in Trippier in January to Saudi. And other clubs. He's 35 now. Contract runs out in just a few months, so it's Newcastle's last opportunity to cash in if they don't give him a new deal. Other rumours that behind the scenes, maybe there might have been falling out, or later training and stuff like that, and all sorts going on. But I'm not going to try and come out here and say that, because we haven't had it verified that that's the truth. And obviously we know Trippier watches the town, so big him up if he's watching. Trips. So we're not going to go into rumours and stuff at the minute. All we know from the club is that he officially is still injured, and we're waiting for him to come back, and we know that we could do with him. Miley's currently starting it right back, doing a great job, but would like to see Trippier return. But once more, as we've talked about quite a lot, we found the verge of transfer windows linked with a move away.
Yeah. I think this channel is coming up to be 2 years in January. We started that too,
Oh,
yes. And I remember, I think it might have been my very first one would have been in the middle of the January transfer window where we're talking about him going to Bayern Munich or Saudi.
Yeah.
And I think
nearly happened.
I think he's been linked every single transfer window since.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just kind of rinse and repeat really with Kieran Trippier. Like every transfer window for the past 2 years, that's January, summer. So about five, 6 windows. Like he's been linked to going away.
He's gonna get a new deal, isn't he?
I probably. But he got one. Was it last year? Was he not out of contract last year?
Extension.
Got a little extension. Well, I think my stance on Trippier is still the exact same that it was 2 years ago. Like, he's 2 years older now. He's 35. He's maybe again coming out of contract. So maybe now more than ever, it kind of makes sense to let him go. I think in the past I've been kind of on the fence. Like I've seen the pros and cons. Like I've never really wanted him to go. He's been a very, very good, experienced head. I think for me, he's been one of the best signings post takeover. He's the first one, so probably the most important one. He let the floodgates open, leaving a Champions League club.
Unbelievable in the final as well.
Getting relegated. So yeah, I think he was a really important part of the new Newcastle United, like post takeover. He's kind of like almost the poster boy along with Bruno.
He was actually having a really good season as well.
He was, yeah, with
best he's played in a while.
Yeah, with Hall missing out. Tino was slotting in at left back. He was at right back, and then really Tino's gone out. So he's had a really, really good year. So he's still got the quality. The experience, the leadership. So I don't mind him being in the team. Like I absolutely have no worries at all. If we're going to extend him, fair enough, crack on. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that he's 35, so there's no real future. And even if we want to sell him, what would we get? Varnine now. Like he's worth it. I mean, I think if he was 25, he'd be worth 70 million probably. I think he's an absolute top class player. But yeah, like 35 coming out of his contracts. Yeah, you're not really going to get a lot for him. So it's kind of, do we just keep him till the end of the season, let him go on a free? Like I say, we're going to get pennies for him anyway. So there's not really much need to sell him for what? Fucking 4 million, 5 million, whatever.
Exactly. Knee point.
Yeah, so I don't mind keeping them if we were to extend them towards the end, like what did with Dubravka last year. We could do that. Yeah, we've got Tino, but for how long? We've started to develop Miley as a right back now. Hopefully not for the long term. I don't want to see Miley lose his place in centre mid because we've decided to adapt him as a full time right back. But I'm just trying to think, like, if we lost Tino and Trippier, would kind of be back to square one where we'd probably need to buy 2 right backs, because I ain't having Miley as a right back. He's been mint, and I kind of hate seeing him play so well because I just keep thinking, we're going to keep you here, aren't we?
We're going to lose Trippier, we're going to lose Tino, he's going to be starting right back.
We're going to lose Miley as a centre mid, so we're going to need to buy another centre mid. I just don't want things to go down that way. So yeah, for me with Trippier, I'm still kind of on the fence as I was 2 years ago. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, he stays, and I'm quite happy for either one.
I see him when he's 35, and he's been unbelievable servant at the club, great captain, great leader. But now I'm the same as you. I mean, what are you going to do with a few million these days? Even if it's just keeping them until the end of the season and let them go for free, it just doesn't make a difference at all for FFP, really. No. You're not going to get much leeway from that or benefit from that. You know, we're still in the competitions that we're in at the minute. You're still in the Champions League and the FA Cup and that. Then, you know, those are the sort of games where you want to bring in Trippier for 90 minutes. Yeah. You want someone in them big games as well, semi-finals and stuff. That's who you want in there, man. So I would just keep him for now and then see where he's at in the summer and see what he wants to do. Another player, though, who could demand a big fee next month, and the only way Newcastle will allow him to leave is if we did get apparently at least £50 million for him, is Joelinton. He's also been linked to a whole host of Saudi clubs in the past few days. That brings up a bit more of a dilemma than Trippier, I'd say, because even though he hasn't been having a good season, we still know his qualities, we still know what he can bring to midfield, and definitely in terms of squad depth, with Joe Willock linked to Crystal Palace again next month as a potential sale. Then Joelinton is Saudi. If you got 50 million, I think that would be too hard to turn down, wouldn't it? You paid 40 for him several years ago. Or he's still is he 29 now or something? Late 20s?
Oh, I don't know.
30? Yeah. He's still got a good few years out of him either way. What's your stance on that with Big Joe?
I just don't actually see him leaving. Like, regardless of what I think, I just don't see it realistic that he leaves. I think Eddie Howe's a big fan. I think he's still a big part of our midfield. He's kind of like Bruno. Like, he's one of the Brazilians that, like, he gets it. Like he's a really like big, like he loves like the city, like he loves the club. Like him and Bruno just are proper like epitomes of people coming in from a foreign land that just absolutely get the club and absolutely live and breathe and love it. And yeah, I do think Eddie Howe still got big plans for him and sees him as like an integral part of the squad. So I don't realistically see him leaving. And for what it's worth, on my opinion of it, like I don't really want to see him leave either. Like I don't like. I'd say 10 million profit if we were selling 50 that was signed him 6 years ago. I think it was 2019 was signed him.
2019.
So it's a profit of 10 million. But like when you look like to inflation, like it's not really that much. So that's why I think it's better to just keep him. Like, I don't really think. I think he's just that physical specimen in midfield that's just irreplaceable. Like he's a different type of quality player, and I love how much other teams get wound up by him. I love his shithousery. I love him just battering into folk and just people getting proper wound up by him, going, he's not a football player, he's a wrestler. Like, that's class. I love saying shit like that. But yeah, I just think he's a really good, I think he just works. I just think that's how we tick, I think, our midfield when it's right, which it hasn't been for a long time. When Tonali's working and obviously Bruno's the cog, I just think with Joelinton, they just bring three different styles and that just works so well. You don't want three players that play the exact same. You want them to be different. You want them to bring something different to the table. And I think them three, like I say, when it works, just ticks so well. And he's been such a huge part of the Eddie Howe regime of the post takeover. And I still think he's got a future here as well.
He's definitely still got a future if he can get back to that football. I think what I was going to jump in and say there was bit like what you said earlier in the show, really, if Newcastle can find that form again, find that style of play again, get back to what we were doing best under Eddie Howe, the intensity, the aggression, the shithousery, then absolutely keep him. But at the minute, he's been off form, he's regressed a little bit, he's starting to pick up more injuries. I think him actually being that battering ram,
too physical,
starting to batter him. I think him actually battering people is battering him. You know, Anarchy Brewery,
not getting any younger.
Yeah, Anarchy Brewery, he had the other month, was seeing Mick Foley talking about wrestlers. And he was just, he was getting battered off everyone. He would get stuck into people, but then look at all the injuries he's got there now in Joelinton. People call him a wrestler. I think he does suffer with that sort of thing where when you take that many hits and give that many hits, you're gonna feel it. Your body's gonna start reacting to it. And Aaron here, who's a regular viewer, he's starting to say, we can't make the same mistake we did with Wilson and Almiron and others. We could chuck in there as well. Sell him at the right time before he regresses more and gets more injuries, and there is truth in that. And I think if you can't get more than what you bought him for, if you can't get more than 40-50 million for him, around that, I'd be inclined to take it.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I'd be looking to replace him with a younger, better quality player, to be honest.
But that's another thing for me and why I wouldn't really like it's not now, like maybe it's like down the line, like not this January, because like the way that we've been, like our form and everything's been really, really poor. Like we need like our best players, and when Joelinton's fit, I believe he is one of our best players. But we've already mentioned like that we need centre mids. Like we've been linked with like your Conor Gallagher's and whatnot. You've been linked with like number sixes and what have you. Like I just think losing someone, because let's face it, Willock hasn't been great, and he's been like when moves away. Ramsdale hasn't really clicked yet. Miley's been pushed right back. Like we're strapped for centre mids at the minute. So if we were to sell one, I think we'd probably need to buy 2 or 3. Like we're going to need to have like a proper overhaul of that midfield, especially when it's one of our big ones like Joelinton, who is like a starter, with Tonali being linked away now. In 2-3 years, this centre mid could look completely different, and it doesn't need to be. Yeah, like it's still good enough. We just need kind of better depth. Like you need like Willocks and Ramsey's to be better, or at least buy like good enough adequate replacements for them, or at least like a number 6 to kind of push the mold a little bit. Like if you got like a proper number 6, you could free up Tonali to play a bit more of a number 8, Bruno to push on as kind of like your 10. There's a few things that you could do, but yeah, I'd just rather not kind of mess with that. Not this January. We're going to come back to it in the summer and it could be a completely different conversation. But yeah, I just think this summer it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
We're going to have to wrap up because the camera is dying. It's on 2%. But very quickly, Keith Schmidt, who we've talked about as a midfielder, is unlikely because he's going to demand at least a fee of around 50 million. I think we've seen that from Romano, and apparently Real Madrid and a lot of big clubs are interested in him. So they're going to come in, they're going to offer more wages. Let's be honest, they've got better chance of winning trophies. So kiss goodbye to Smitty coming in.
Enjoy yourself, Smitty.
Last one, Oscar Bob. great impact from Man City off the bench against Newcastle a couple of years ago. Very exciting youngster, but like many at Man City, will not be able to get given his chance. Like Cole Palmer, for example.
Yeah.
He's been linked heavily with the move to Newcastle in the last day. I, for one, would really like that because I think he's very creative, can get on the ball, technical, make things happen. I would go for him in January. I would see what we could do with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've seen like a lot of the times, like Cole Palmer, as you mentioned, there's probably a dozen more than that you could mention, like young players at Man City that just hasn't really been able to get that chance because they're young and they've come up from the academy, and there's other players that have spent however many millions on, like a Jack Grealish or whatever. But like a lot of people have left Man City and became really, really good footballers. And I think Oscar Bobb's a young quality player.
He really is.
You probably haven't seen enough of him.
Injury problems, which people are mentioning.
He has
in the
had
chat
injury
a little
problems, yeah. But yeah, I think he's a quality young player. I suppose it depends on the deal, what you're going to pay for him. I say injuries has got to be taken into consideration as well.
But loan with an obligation, depending if he hits X amount of appearances.
He's a good option, like definitely a good option, like. Stick him on the short list.
Stick him on the short list, and hopefully we'll get people off that list in January very quickly. Or we're going to win at Burnley tomorrow night, Keg.
I mean, we should do. Probably not though.
We should. Burnley terrible. Park has admitted relegation.
We should win 3-0, but I'm going 1-1.
1-1 God.
Yeah, it's absolutely stinky. I think 3-0 is a 3-0. I think 3-0 is, if we're at home, I'd say 3-0 because we're away.
Well, to be fair, at home we scrimped against them 2-1 and against 10 men, and they should have scored in the last second.
True.
So we got lucky there.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and be optimistic and go 2-0 Newcastle, but I could see Dubravka playing great, us not touching the ball, making any chances, and probably 0-0 draw.
No counter-attack, no press.
Me now. Great. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a happy new year. We'll see you in 2026. Subscribe to my channel TV and enjoy yourself.